Hi guys, I'm currently in a hotel in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm sick, so that's why my voice sounds funny. But I'm currently in the middle of moving across the country, and I'm so excited. This is such an exciting time in my life, guys. I was in Oklahoma last night, I was in Tennessee the night before, and I'm 2 states and 800 miles away from LA, which is where me and my husband are gonna end up. I personally love change. I love road trips. I love new things and new times and everything about it. So this has been like one of the most exciting things ever for me. But I already moved to LA this year. I'm essentially moving back to LA from Nashville, and I'm moving for the second time. I don't know, it's very complicated. If you want to understand it, just watch my other videos. Point is, I'm moving, and my whole life is about to change. I'm getting a new apartment, I'm building new habits, I'm starting a whole new chapter of my life with my husband, and I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this move for a couple months now, and everything is finally happening. And it's like that amazing feeling when you've been looking forward to your birthday or graduation or something, and then it finally comes. Like when you're just hyping something up in your brain and then it happens, it's just like, it's kind of a magical feeling in my opinion. The only issue with it is that it's not always what you expect. So this time in my life could totally be overhyped in my head, and I could be making it worse for myself by having expectations, but I'm just hoping that's not the case. I do think it's gonna be the best year of my life, but not because I think anything crazy is gonna happen. I just think that it simply will be very good. Like, just good, that's it. One of the main reasons why I think it'll be so good is because I've been doing therapy for the past month, and you guys all know about my amazing therapist who I have to leave again because he can't see me in California. He's based out of Tennessee. But regardless, he taught me so much in the past few weeks, and the stuff he showed me I really think is going to contribute to me having a good year. So I wanted to share these things with you guys because maybe some of the advice that he gave me that I paid for, I can give to you for free, and maybe it'll be helpful for you. The first and the biggest thing he taught me was that I'm the only one responsible for my feelings, and that everybody else is responsible for their own feelings. So it's kind of two things at once. Nobody can make me feel anything, and I can't make anybody feel anything. So if somebody does something to me, it doesn't make me sad. I'm just feeling sad in response to it. Like anytime I say that person made me so mad or that thing made me so sad, he always interrupts me mid-sentence and he's like, no. Who is responsible for your feelings? Who is responsible for their feelings? Nobody can make you or make them feel anything. And it's so important, I feel like, to realize, like when he told me that, it was a really big change for me and my mindset. It just kind of makes you stop blaming other people for like, quote, making you feel a certain way, but it also makes you feel less guilty for like hurting people. Like I struggle a lot with thinking too much about other people's feelings, like being way too empathetic and like taking on everyone else's feelings and feeling guilty if someone's in a bad mood or if someone's mad or whatever. And so it's just something that I try to constantly remind myself, like I didn't make this person feel anything. They are just feeling that way in response to it, but they technically don't have to feel that way. Like I'm not forcing that on them. It's just how their brain is reacting. And like these feelings that they're feeling or that I'm feeling are just our brains giving us a signal that something is happening. It's not necessarily like a bad thing. And that's another thing that he taught me. I tend to be really scared of feelings, and I hate being sad because I feel like I'm gonna get stuck in it, because I do get stuck in it so easily, and like I get sad so deep and so quick. But he taught me that feelings are just your brain letting you know that something's up. He says that they're a wonderful system. He says your feelings are a wonderful system. It's such a nice sentence that you need to appreciate and learn to work with rather than run from. Like I always had this logic. When you get hurt, your brain is sending you pain signals to be like, hey, I'm hurt. You got to fix that. Like it's a way of surviving. And pain can either be something to be scared of, or it can be something to just be seen as a thing and something necessary to protect you that you need to appreciate and can honestly feel neutral towards. Like pain doesn't have to be this thing that's so scary. It can just be like, oh, I'm not scared to get hurt right now, because if I get hurt, it's just my body telling me something's wrong. So like as long as I'm not dying, like I'll be fine. Does that make sense? Basically, he's just saying feelings are the same idea. And I'm working on running from things less, but it's definitely hard to put into practice, and I don't do it all the time. And then he also taught me some stuff to try to help with me being so disorganized and chaotic. I grew up in an extremely messy, loud, crazy household. I had 10 siblings and I was homeschooled, and it was just, there wasn't a lot of structure. And so I don't know how to have a routine or feel peaceful because my life is just always crazy. Like that's just how I am, how I was raised, and how I pretty much will always be. So the first thing he taught me is to not feel guilty for it. Like I can't control the way I was raised, and I don't need to feel like an idiot for not being, quote, an adult like everyone else my age. age. I always feel like shit when I compare myself to other adults when they like have a schedule and like clean their house and have everything together, because like I feel like an idiot for just not being able to do it. Like I feel like it's something that all adults should just know how to do, but that's not true. That is something that you learn from birth, that you see from your parents, and like if you don't learn it, you don't know it. And it's not just a magical thing that you're just gonna know naturally and do well. And I always get so down on myself about it and so embarrassed that like I'm not as responsible or reliable or organized as other people. But my therapist just was trying to drill it into my head that I need to not feel bad about myself for that, because it's not my fault. Like I can acknowledge that I need to work on it, but I also don't need to feel bad about myself for where I am. Like he has this analogy that I got thrown into the pilot seat of an airplane when it was already in the air and I don't know how to fly. So he basically just says that I'm trying to figure this stuff out while it's already happening, while most people figure it out or learn it before the plane takes off. So I don't have to feel like an idiot. I just have to have compassion for myself and say, oh, I didn't learn these things, other people did, and that's it. I don't need to feel bad about myself. I just need to work on it and kind of force myself to artificially figure out how to do these things on a daily basis, but I don't have to put myself down for it. So along with that, he gave me some methods for being organized that I've been doing, and they're combined with the knowledge that I have major attention issues. So if you struggle with what I just said and you relate to this and you have attention issues, ADHD, whatever, maybe these will help you too. So I always tell him that I just don't remember to do things, like it doesn't cross my mind. So he says that I don't have a hard time because I don't remember, but because what I have to do isn't in front of me. So he told me I have to make daily to-do lists and put them somewhere that I can see, like physically right in front of me, like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. So I downloaded this app called Habits that you can like track different habits. That's literally all it is. It's a very simple app, and you can make like a home screen widget for it on the iPhone. And then I also made a widget for my calendar, and I made a widget for the to-do list app. So my homepage is literally just full of my to-do list. I'll show you right now. And it's extremely helpful, like super, super helpful. This is all the stuff that I have to do. This is my to-do list. This is my habits that I'm trying to do. And this is my calendar. So while it's not perfect, and he told me this, he's like, Dani, it's not gonna be perfect. Like, don't get down on yourself if you don't get it right away. It's gonna be really, really hard for you. It's gonna feel really weird to do stuff on a consistent basis and to like remember these to-do lists and whatever. Just try. He just told me to try. So if you guys can take anything away from what I just said, just be gentle with yourself. I always try to change myself and complain about how I'm worse compared to other people, but it's time I had some damn self-compassion and try to just work with what I have instead of wishing it was different. Like there's always people online talking about glow ups and giving you tutorials about how to become your ideal you and all this stuff. But what would happen if we all just took a good long look at ourselves and said, this is me and these are my flaws, and this is what I can do to become better based on that. I'm not gonna try to fundamentally change myself. I just need to try to be better. Like, I, Dani, am a loud and disorganized person with mild anger issues. I talk in my sleep. I jump to conclusions. I cry a little too much, maybe a lot too much. And I procrastinate everything I do. I probably need medication. I definitely need therapy. And everything that I am today is just a product of how I was raised. It's not my fault that I am a certain way today, and I don't have to beat myself up for my flaws. Like, I'm just gonna try to get out of bad habits and into great ones, and hopefully it's all gonna continue with this like new life that I'm starting right now. I was tempted to say it will hopefully start with my new life, but for once, I don't want to be trying to project that things will be better later. Today is today, and today is actually really good, and I'm gonna try to do the best I can with the person I am and the tools that I was given. And that's something that my therapist taught me that I'm never gonna forget. He always says everybody is doing the best that they can with the tools that they were given. Everybody's doing the best that they can with the tools that they were given. I don't need to feel bad about myself, and I don't need to judge anybody else. We're all just doing the best we can.
Yeah.
All right, love you.
And I wanted to save it till tomorrow, but they have this like, they had buñuelos.
What is that?
It's like dessert tortillas and cinnamon sugar.
Oh.
But I wanted us to get it tomorrow.
Okay.